Okay, let's have a little morning chat about the emails. So interesting how history repeats and we've come full circle. It used to be Hillary's emails, now it's the Epstein emails. Fascinating times, because when there were scandals, say, over 100 years ago, what did they have? They probably had telegrams, they had newspapers, things were slower. But now we have the internet and the digital era. And that works both against us and in our favor in these situations, right? A lot of rumors will spread and gossip, and where there's smoke, there's fire, and, anecdotal evidence and victim testimony and all kinds of things that are designed to create confusion and chaos, too. So here's logic. Logic says if you've seen a person with a history of making gross comments about the female gender, which is ironic on so many levels because that is a bio-female in my opinion. It will take time for that one to come through, but then you have to look at that. You have to look at, in their own words, in plain sight, revelation of the method. They're telling you. Grabbing pussies is a confession of serial assault, and you don't get to dismiss that one with locker room talk. And it was the times, because that just meant you get away with a crime. It doesn't mean it's not a crime. Okay? So there are many, many, many criminals involved in this. It's a vast, elaborate system. And, they're going to cut off some heads of hydras and offer you some sacrificial lambs. But it really is as vast as, say, the priests and the little boys was. So it's important to know that as we sort of get more puzzle pieces and connect more dots, and we see the clown show, shit show, start to crumble, and their false personas, very false personas, start to, collapse, then use your common sense of, that someone has shown you their character. You have to believe them, right? Like, you can't keep turning red flags pink or green. It doesn't work. What will happen, I see and feel, is that this is the dark before the dawn, right? This is the crumble before we rise from the rubble. Okay? And there's something to be said for, I just keep it local and simple. I don't even look at the news. I don't care about sports. I don't care about the entertainment industry. I don't give a shit about that stuff. I just live my local, life. And I care about what's in my own four walls, not what's beyond my front door. I'm just having a conversation with a friend like this. And it's like, that is not going to be acceptable anymore. And that is going to be seen as cowardice. That is going to be seen as avoidance. And that is going to be seen as complicity. So you have a choice now. You're at a choice point. We're at a crossroads as humanity that, you have to choose your soul. You can't just choose conveniences or your bank account or, I want to keep my kids safe and fed. And yeah, you do for the long haul. You want to also think of future generations of children. And you might say, I'm not a crusader. That's not my problem. That's not my pay grade. I can't care about that. I have too much going on with my daily life. Okay, that's a nice excuse, but it isn't going to hold water. We are all, in theory, again, the United States of America. And whatever that means is you have to get past voting for one pedophile over the other. You have to start seeing that, no, we have a lot more power than that. You think your vote is your voice? No. Your money is your voice. Your time is your voice. Your energy is your voice and your vote. How you spend those things really impact the benevolence of the world or the malevolence of the world. Are you being used as a slave by these systems who traffic and harm children? And are you turning a blind eye to that? And how will that be when you do come to the moment where you meet your creator? How will you justify it? I didn't know. You can't say that anymore. You cannot use that one anymore. Ignorance is not bliss. It's not a get out of jail free card. And it is not going to protect you, So what I keep telling myself and everybody else is dig deeper into your soul. Get your meditation practice stronger, your prayer practice, find fellowship and community. If it's in a church, fine. If it's in nature, fine. But really strengthen your communication and connection with your creator, whoever that is for you. If you call it God, if you call it higher power, if you call it source, if you call it Gaia, if you call it Fred, I don't care. But have some awareness that your eternal soul, your infinite essence, your energy, your, beingness is at stake here. Not just your money, not just your house, not just your kids and their future. It is something much more precious and much more unquantifiable. It's your soul. And they've all sold theirs, right? They've all given up. They've all rolled over for trinkets and baubles and bullshit. And all I'm saying is, don't do that, because you'll regret it. And I've been in this battle now with the Illuminati for 8+ years, and they don't change. They get worse. They don't grow or evolve. They don't get honest or brave. They might get a little more clever and crafty here and there, but they also get stupid and reckless. So what I want to say to you is, knowing what I know about this cult, having experienced extreme psychological torment at the hands of this cult, you have to strengthen your mind, your psyche, your soul, and your heart, and your backbone. That is the job going forward. It's not the job that you go to that gives you paychecks or keeps a roof over your head or food on the table. Your main mission in life as a human, as a soul, as a spirit, as an energy being walking around, you're a ball of light in a meat suit, is to strengthen your spiritual path and journey. That's it. Everything else is decoration and distraction. All right. I love you when I say that, and I mean it so well and from my heart to yours. Have a great day or night or wherever you are or whenever you are.